Hey, what's good, everybody? So channel announcement. I'm still going in the direction of food. I love food. I just finished doing a test cook on certain ingredients in my cupboard, and the theme of this new series is, it's balling on a budget, but how to stretch that budget so that way you maximize flavor, you maximize the cost of your food, and what ways can you season your food to avoid so much salt in your dishes, as well as maximizing portions, as well as all of that. It's not so much a meal prep as it is cooking. And it's all centers around food stamps. So in this series that's going to be coming up, hopefully sometimes by mid this year, um, what I'm thinking of doing is, since I just got blessed with an EBT, and I made a post several years back about this one experience I had waiting in line behind the family who was so pretentious. Like, it was ridiculous, and I can bet you, with everything that I am, they didn't use any. They just let other people enjoy the food, which is not a bad thing. And they've wasted the rest of the ingredients. They let it go to waste. So because I was blessed with the opportunity, and a lot of the research that I've seen by just watching people and observing them with EBT. And I also have people that owe me huge favors, and these people just say how many people they've seen in their memory when they worked at like places like Costco, Foodland, Safeway, all of that. How many people they can recollect using EBT. They said a good amount of them used processed foods, and with Hawaii being a place where we can get excellent natural produce, even with bulk supermarkets like Sam's Club and Safeway, or not Sam's Club and Safeway, but Sam's Club and Costco. Um, we tend to forget that cooking is not just a chore. It's more about the experience. It's more about what you want to cook, what you want to put into your body. Um, the reason why I'm saying this is because my brother, just his diabetes ramped up to the point where it could have been near death, but we got him on a better medication regimen. But the doctor said that medication regimen could make his health a little bit worse. So because of that, and because my dad died not only of natural causes, but because of a lot of things that dealt with his diet and all of that, um, these past few years for me haven't been a really good one, and I've been focusing more on dieting with a lot of exercise. And I realized that it's not about fancy food. It's not about showing how much clout you have on Instagram by trying to make Instagram worthy posts. It's about being the best you can be. One of the ways that I found that I could be the better me is through food. Food is such a big part of my life. Being Southeast Asian, meaning Burmese, or identify more Burmese and Filipino. Food has always been a big part of my life. And because it's been that big part of my life throughout my whole childhood, back and forth, it's one of those things where you have to honestly stop and say, hey, this processed food has to stop. And Philippines and China, believe it or not, are prolific in shortcutting their ways. And the reason why I say this is, when I went to the Philippines, there was a plethora of beautiful open market. But even though it's such a lot of the places in the Philippines are very rural, meaning it's a very country, there's also a heavy populace that lives in metropolitan areas. And those metropolitan areas don't have really good produce because the crops that are grown are very minimalistic, and they're sold for really expensive prices where you really have to haggle to get the best price for good produce. So because I live in the States, and um, I'm afforded this supplemental uh, nutrition and something program, or food stamps, I feel that even though the convenient route would be best, it's not ultimately gonna make me feel good. It's just gonna keep me full. I want meals that not only make me feel good, but uh, make me feel full. And I learned a lot about over these past, I'd say now in my fitness journey, losing from 300. Now I'm plateauing between 290 and 260. Um, what I'm learning is that food has a way of building you up and making you feel full. So the best ways to do that is finding ingredients and food that you like. Consequently, I like seafood. I love meat, meaning beef in particular, pork, and chicken. Um, and this series will show you ways of seasoning it and spreading, especially when you go bulk buying your proteins and your ingredients. It'll help you see how you can make multiple meals and have multiple uses for some ingredients, especially because Southeast Asian food, believe it or not, is at least probably, I wouldn't even say a third of protein, it'd probably be a quarter protein to roughly three-fourths vegetables and about also this uh, probably less than an eighth portion of rice. If you are in the more well-to-do aspects of that society, of Asian society. So with that being said, I don't know what to name the title. It'll probably come to me when I make the first episode. But that, stay tuned for that new series, guys. And also, I just couple, I think almost now a week ago, I uploaded the new episode to Eyes of an Aspie Foodie, and I changed it to from mukbang to 808 mukbang. It basically shows you what I'm talking about in those highlights, as well as give you a step-by-step tutorial on how to maximize flavor on your food and for budget cuts. Thanks, guys.